Okay. Look, ever since the Sonic X Shadow Generations game had dropped, I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of Sonic fans out here getting a little bit too cocky, thinking that Sonic is really back in the game. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Um, it's okay to rejoice now. But if you honestly think that Sega is gonna make consistent, good 3D Sonic games after this game, you're living in a false reality. If you look at the history of Sonic, they had so many chances to do this. I don't even believe that we're gonna get a brand new good Sonic game in like the next maybe 5 years. That's pretty much good, right? And honestly, people could say, "Oh, well, Beastie, you just sound like you hate." No, because honestly, I've been there since for Sonic 3D since I was a kid, since I was a baby. Look, I'm an '02 baby, right? I was born in 2002. And if you already know, during 2002 or the early 2000s, Sonic 3D was at its damn near peak, right? We had Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2, and Heroes, right? I literally grew up with Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes, and then with Sonic X. So watching or playing two games and watching one TV show made me fall in love with Sonic entirely. And I remember back in like 2013, that's when I started to play all the old school 2D games. And then, man, I thought 2D games were kind of lame because, I was like, okay, why would I want to play these 3D games when I have or why would I want to play these 2D games when the 3D games has everything, has great music, great story, this and that, all that extra shit, right? But once I started playing the 2D games, man, I was like, yo, Sega really had something, bro. Sega had a formula and kept running with it for a little bit, right? I mean, look at this though, right? From Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic CD, they was on a dude, that was what, like 5 games in a row? These 5 games beat anything that Mario did in 2D. Yes, I'm saying from Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. Sonic beat Mario when it came to 2D games. Absolutely. Sonic did beat Mario in those 2D games, man. I don't give a damn if, Sonic was, on the Sega Genesis, a way more powerful system. I don't give a damn if Sonic Genesis had way more games on that system than, Mario did on his own system. But Sonic 2D had beat Mario. I cannot lie. I mean, it Sonic did his thing for 2D. And you always keep looking at 2D games though, right? We had Sonic Advance, a cold ass game, Sonic Rush, first game with the boost. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Sonic 2D has always been a great thing. Um, so what the hell happened to Sonic? Well, honestly, we already know it's Sonic 3D. Sonic 3D was a downfall of Sonic, and it's just this series has always been like a hit and run series. No pun intended. This series has always been a hit and run series. Sega has a hit with Sonic, and then he just kind of run off into the wind, and we don't ever hear from him again. And I feel like Sonic cannot get that flow back again. Even if the movies are coming out nowadays, having 3 movies the last couple years is pretty wild, and it's pretty good though, because Sonic to me, has always been that cartoon character, right? Like for real, like Sonic, like me growing up watching 4 Kids and watching that Sonic X, especially season 1, right? Because I know season 2 is based off of the 2 adventure games. So watching the first Sonic, or the first season of Sonic X had me captivated as a kid because I'm like, yo, why would I like Mario, man? I mean, I know all the Mario characters. I mean, everybody in the world does, but Mario is just his character does not captivate me, man. He the guy doesn't talk. None of the characters in Mario talk. So how can I get captivated by a character that does not talk when Sonic and his characters talk and actually have personality to them? So we know what they're like. Knuckles is high headed. Tails is more like a father, but he's also very smart and independent. He's the smartest one in the group. Sonic is the cool, chill one who's very heroic. Shadow is kind of the edgy, brooding type, but he's also kind of cool in the end. You know what I'm saying? Blaze is kind of quiet, but she's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, every character in Sonic has a personality to him. So as a kid, I gravitated towards this, right? So that's what made me want to play more of the games from watching Sonic X. Because Sonic has always been a great character, cartoon character, right? I mean, I feel like Sonic's biggest positive is definitely been him being on the screen, not in the game, not the game screen, on the cinema screen. You know what I'm saying? On TV shows and movies. That's always been his thing. He's been better at that because how can you fail at making us, making Sonic look boring? Sonic's always been an intriguing character to put, you know, into a story. As long as the story's good, Sonic's gonna be good too. You know what I'm saying? So how did it get like this, man? So even if Shadow Generations did come out, and honestly, it's a good game. It's a little kind of short-ish, but and I'm also very surprised at how Sonic Generations damn near charge you $70 for some added content, which is the Shadow game to an old school game that's like damn near 10 years now. or well, not 10 years old. Damn, is it really 13 years since Sonic Generations? Yeah, it's been 13 years. So damn, that's insane, bro. 13 years since Sonic Generations. But eh, anyway, though, you know what I'm saying. But the fact is though is that and also I'm very shocked how Sonic Generation add more. Or in fact, is that Sega did do nothing for Sonic's 30th anniversary, or even make it like Sonic Generations 2, maybe with the Shadow, maybe. But I mean, like I said, it's too late for that anyway. But the fact is though is that how did Sonic get like this, man? How did Sonic get from a hit and run series, had some hits, ran in the wind, and then ever since, Sonic Heroes has always been hit or miss since then. How can it go like that? How can the series go from that, right? How can a series that was competing with Mario not even compete with Mario? Like legit, it's like seconds of Mario, right? Because if we all think of platformers, think Mario and Sonic. There's never Sonic and Mario. That's why, Mario, if you look at their collab games called Mario and Sonic, that's Sonic and Mario. And no, it's not because the M comes for S. It's because damn near, well, I guess you can kind of count that low key. But it's also because Mario's just more kind of Sonic. Mario sells more, you know what I'm saying? Because based off his games, Mario games will always be better than Sonic games when it comes to 3D. When it comes to 3D, 2D games, Sonic beats that. When it comes to 3D games, Mario will always beat Sonic. Just that's my perspective of it, though. I mean, just anything from from Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and 3 and Heroes, Mario Sunshine beats all three of these games out the park. You look at Galaxy beats '06, Unleashed, damn near Colors too. I mean, I think Sega just said, F it. Let's try to make our own little Sonic, Galaxy type joint, with Colors. And Mario Galaxy still kind of beat that, thing, you know what I'm saying? Even Sega made an entire game off of Mario Galaxy's concept and made Sonic Lost World. So, yeah, I just feel like when it comes to 3D games, Mario just blows Sonic out the park. But why is Mario always been so consistent with his games, but Sonic can't be? Well, I'm gonna break it down to you. And legit, and the pros of the hit and run and the negatives of the hit and run. And here we go. So if you look at this timeline here, right, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I explained before, right? We had Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic City, right? All these games 2D wise were just cold, like, you know what I'm saying? But what was cold about Sonic, you know what I'm saying? Sonic was a cold platformer because it was a platformer where you can essentially go fast. Now I know Mario, you can also go fast too. Like I said, Mario does have a run button, but this game's speed, or the game encourages you to speed run, damn near. But the thing about Sonic though is that the only way for you to speed in 2D games is if you know the platforms, right? If you had the knowledge of the stage, you know all the secret routes, you know what I mean? Maybe like maybe like the top route, the bottom route, or like the middle route. You know what I'm saying? Because every Sonic 2D level kind of has that. If you know the way, towards the Chaos Emeralds. You know what I'm saying? So Sonic has always been based off of like the more you play, the more you get better. The more faster you get, because like I said, Sonic and these games do have platforms and puzzles, but if you know it, the faster you could get at the game. And that's when the speed aspect of Sonic really does shine and grow. Especially from Sonic 1, especially Sonic 2. Sonic 1 and 2, 2 definitely brought his speed up a little bit, more. Sonic CD speed is amazing, his presentation in the stages and his music is just amazing. And that's one thing Sonic has always been done, and Sega in general has always done good, is the music, keeping it hip and making sure that you're stuck to this character. Um Sonic and Knuckles was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised besides being a game called Sonic and Tails. Sonic 2 is kind of like that, but not officially. So look at this though, right? These five games, cold classic. Everybody loves these games, especially Sonic 2. I think Sonic 2's got to be one of the best Sonic games out there. One of the toughest ones, most challenging ones, and just fun in general. You know what I'm saying? Like that game had no continues to the point where like you had to buckle down to make sure you had to survive. Especially if you try to get all the Chaos Emeralds and beat the game at the same time. Yeah, that's tough in Sonic 2, man. It's tough in Sonic 2. In Sonic 3, Knuckles, do have like save files, so I can't trip too much. But man, Sonic 2, that was tough. Going from Sonic 1 to 2, and knowing 2 has more stages with no save files. Yeah, 2 was tough as hell, bro. Tough as nails. Now, if you look at 3D games though, right? 3D games wise, Sonic Adventures when Sonic became even more cool, right? Now he's in 3D. He has more character, right? He has a voice, you know what I'm saying? He has green eyes and cool shoes and cool ass poses. And you know what I'm saying? It's just and there's more story to him, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this is the actual game where the game is more story centered. You know what I'm saying? You have actual dialogue between characters and all that stuff and more moments. and more lore, right? You have more lore into the echidnas, with Knuckles, which is pretty cool though, you know what I'm saying? So Sonic Adventure was actually going towards a cool route. Matter of fact, I think Sonic Adventure, in my personal opinion, still has a lot more stuff to offer than Sonic Adventure 2. I know everyone likes to love Sonic Adventure 2, man. I also feel like Sonic Adventure 2 is an iconic game based on presentation, and shadow and the music. But you look at all the content you have in, Sonic Adventure 2 compared to Sonic 1. Sonic 1 still has a little bit more extra, right? So you have an open world, something that's not in Sonic Adventure 2. 2 does maybe have a little more speed factor, but man, Adventure 1 had more like a Metroidvania type light to it, you know what I'm saying? Where you had to actually solve somewhat bit of puzzles to actually access different levels. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was pretty cool. I feel like Adventure One was way longer than two. I feel like two was a little more shorter because two was just like level to level to level. In Adventure One, you had to like pause for a little bit to go to like another level, which made the game a little more harder. Um, yeah, so I feel like Sonic Adventure was definitely a game that needs to be more or have more shine to it. 'Cause I feel like everyone wants to ride Adventure 2 as a better Sonic game. With literally Adventure 1, I just think it needs more shine. It kind of reminds me of Ninja Gaiden 1 and Ninja Gaiden 2, right? I feel like for Ninja Gaiden 1 is more of a complete game because of the world building and stuff like that. And 2 was just a faster, I guess, more iconic game when it comes to, like the hack slash, genre. But 1 just is more of it's more of a complete game, and just my personal opinion of it though, you know what I'm saying? Which I think a lot of people do feel that way. So it's more than a personal opinion. So, especially the final boss. I feel like the final boss in Adventure 2, especially with the Bio Lizard, man, I had such a tough time with that boss, man. It took me damn near hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours to beat that boss because the camera angle moves so weird. And then, the part with the pink eggs, and then we trying to, auto aim with it, to get on top to hit the Bio Lizard. The auto aim would not hit. It would just go straight to the Bio Lizard and it would just kill me. That was just frustrating, man. So it was easy boss, it's just frustrating because the controls and camera were so off when it came to that, that boss fight. So honestly, I'll say for Adventure 2, the music's iconic. Co-op is cool, but in terms of content, I think Adventure 1 got that. So I think Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 was kind of cool, but I think Story Adventure 2 was tad bit more better. I still think Adventure 1 did have more of the adventure aspect towards it, which it felt like an adventure. So yeah, both these games are pretty cool. And you look at next, we have Sonic Heroes, right? You know what I'm saying? A completely different game, saying? Concept that was way different than Sonic Adventure, 1 and 2. A game where you team up with your favorite, characters from the entire franchise at different teams. And kind of the same ish style as Sonic Adventure, gameplay, just, what I'm saying, it's more of a team style game. Not bad, like I said. It's just I'm surprised Sega has not made a Sonic Heroes 2. It's like, what I'm saying? That's one thing about the Sonic games, right? Is that where's Sonic Adventure 3, right? And I guess you could say, oh no, that was Sonic 06. No, Sonic 06 was no Adventure 3. If I look, my idea or the best idea for Adventure 3, right, is I'm gonna say this though. If Sega in the future can make Adventure 3, make sure every single character that's important to Sonic, like every character that popped up in that Sonic in Sonic's 20th birthday, for generations, every character that was at that picnic, make them have their own gameplay and gameplay style that makes them important to the story. Sonic Adventure 3 should have different stages, have an open world where you're able to like just imagine if every zone had its open world and every character had like his own different gameplay style that was at that picnic in Sonic Generations. Imagine that. Imagine how many playstyles we would get for the Sonic game adventure. Because remember, Sonic Adventure has always been more than Sonic. It's been about the characters. So just like I said, just imagine if we have Amy, Cream and Cheese, they have their own play, their gameplay style, Rouge, Knuckles, Tails can have his own gameplay style, I wouldn't consider Eggman, nah, just like Sonic character or the Team Vector, and all the people, like, the B character, Vector, and I forgot the other dude, SBO, him too. And hell, even Big the Cat can have his own fishing thing, man. I thought fishing with Big the Cat wasn't that bad, man. It wasn't that bad. And Shadow can have his own gameplay style, which if you clearly see in Sonic, in Shadow Generation, Shadow has his own gameplay style. So imagine for Sonic Adventure 3, every character had his own gameplay style, his own adventure, kind of like how they did in this brand new game, right? You had Sonic's Adventure, Shadow's Adventure. Imagine they did that for damn near every character that was at that picnic and made it, called it Sonic Adventure 3 and had a cool ass story to it where every character is kind of involved. That would to me be pretty dope. So I'm not gonna lie to you. So I feel like they should have did that. To be honest with you though. So let's keep going. So after Sonic Heroes, we get Shadow the Hedgehog, right? Shadow the Hedgehog is definitely a game where it was just kind of forced. Look, I understand that Shadow was a popular character, but giving him a gun and edginess, it screams 2000s, right? The edginess and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shadow killing people and using the gun when he has chaos powers. Very strange though too, but That was a big negative in the game. And if you go to Sonic Riders, now this is not, I can't count Sonic Riders. It's more like kind of like a spin-off game, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause since Sonic was trying to go against, that damn Mario Kart, 'cause, Mario Kart is iconic. If you look at after Shadow the Hedgehog, we get Sonic '06, one of the worst games of all time. And then after Sonic '06, for the mainstream games, we got Sonic Unleashed. But I feel like for Sonic Unleashed was actually, we can't count that as a good game because the whole werewolf thing was forced. Like how could you have the Sonic daytime parts be so perfect? Yeah, you want to add something that slows down the pacing. Like who? Why would you do that? Because I still remember the advertisements back when Sonic Unleashed came out. People thought that Sonic was actually going to be like half werewolf for like the rest of his time now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people started like fall off of Sonic because why would you make a game like this and then just completely, and I mean completely make an entire game that's different from this cold ass gameplay style? Like, like speed in Sonic Unleashed is cold, the stages were cold, it's just the story was decent though too, you know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with the werehog part. It's just that's very stupid. That was very forced and dumb. Very dumb. Like at first, everybody thought, Sonic had the evil side where Sonic can control where he's killing people or whatever. Like, man, come on now. That's man. So we all know that Sonic Unleashed was the greatest potential out of all the Sonic franchise. Sonic Colors. Wait, actually no. What else did I forget? I forgot about Sonic Seven Rings and the Black Knight 2 completely. And I guess you can't say these are not spin-off games. I kind of want to count them though, but this was just complete trash ass games, man. Who are these ideas? Completely whack. And look at this. We have Sonic Colors back to form. Sonic Wise, and we had Sonic Generations completely back to form. And then so we had two games back to back. Pretty cool though, right? And then after this, we had Sonic Lost World 2 years later, which I actually did buy this game when I was like 11 years old. Played it on my 3DS. I thought it was decent. It was too Mario Galaxy, right? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a time I also had Super Mario Galaxy where I had Mario 3D Land. Way better game than Sonic Lost World, but yeah, that's just the score. And look, just like how I said earlier, Sonic 3D can never beat Mario 3D. That Mario 3D is unbeaten. Unbeaten, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually we had like Sonic Boom, which was just completely like a 360 of the series. I don't know why they made that, you know what I'm saying? Especially like literally like a couple years later after Lost World. So it's just weird to me how Sega had a concept for Sonic Colors and Generations, yet they completely changed their narrative with these trash ass games for the next couple years, right? We had Sonic Lost World, uh Sonic Boom, Sonic Forces, and even Sonic Frontiers. Like these are like, who asked for these games, man? Real Sonic fans just want Sonic Adventure 3 and Sonic Heroes 2, man. We don't want no extra shit like Sonic Lost World, Sonic Forces, Frontiers. And yes, Frontiers is a Breath of the Wild copy. I don't agree with it though. And it was a rushed ass game. I don't give a damn how much content is into Frontiers now, but Frontiers was rushed. It was rushed in that game because that Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, was coming out soon. They did not want to put that release date next to that game because that game would have died on arrival. No game in the month of May came out. No big time game came out when Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out in May, man. Just remember that, man. Zelda had so much aura, no one wanted to release the game around that time. So that's why I was so confused how Baldur's Gate 3 won over Zelda when literally Zelda had so much aura and damn near worthy of a sequel. Like, man, actually, matter of fact, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom wasn't actually really much a sequel. It's more like DLC content to the point where they couldn't add it to to Breath of the Wild because the Switch is not powerful enough. So imagine if the Switch was actually powerful enough to have all this in Tears of the Kingdom and bring as DLC into Breath of the Wild. So imagine if Breath of the Wild was just, yeah, Breath of the Wild, and once you beat the game, you have access to Tears of the Kingdom and the DLC from Breath of the Wild. Can you imagine if Zelda Breath of the Wild was all like one package from Tears of the Kingdom to Breath of the Wild and it just was one game? That would be cold as hell. That'd be one of the best games of all time. You can dare bring no argument saying it's one of the worst games. So, uh, yeah, just that's my idea, or that's my well, that's the fact about Sonic Frontiers, and because I bought that on launch, and it just felt like, man, this feels rushed, man. I don't. It's not feel like Sonic. This is nowhere near Sonic Adventure One at all when it comes to exploration. I know they try to do it better, but I don't want to be in a grassland. Nigga, Sonic meant to run in city streets, somewhere a little bit grasslands, maybe even a desert, like just different areas, man. You know what I'm saying? Not stuck in the same spot all gosh, they just felt kind of weird and rushed. Forces was completely just whack. Nobody liked that story. I think that was a low budget Sonic game because I don't know, it's just very weird. But eventually, after the that damn monstrosity of Sonic Lost World, Sonic Boom, we did have Sonic Mania, which was like cold as hell. You know what I'm saying? So just I'm saying every two Sonic game is done well. From Sonic Mania to what else? Um, more of the games that came after Sonic Mania. So even Sonic the Hedgehog 4, which is it's pretty good though too. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, any 2D Sonic game just does well. Any of the 3D games just like a hit or miss. So yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So just think about this though. When it comes to 2D Sonic, all of them are consistent, and 3D Sonic is just a run. Like literally after the Sonic Generations, a game that we have now, which is just kind of just added DLC. They look from 2011 till now, man. Going from Lost World, Sonic Boom, Forces, and Frontiers. We have four games that was nowhere close to the gameplay we had from Sonic Generations. And it just questions you, why in the world, why in the flying world would they ever change the gameplay for Sonic Generations and go to Sonic Lost World, then go to Sonic Boom, then go into Sonic Force, then go to Sonic Frontiers, just to come back to Sonic Generations and add, more content, but make the gameplay even feel better. So what was they doing in the last couple? What was they doing? You know what I'm saying? The last 13 years. What was they doing, man? So that's all I'm saying. So if you are excited for Sonic now, which is cool, but don't be excited when the bad games come out, man. I don't like I said, I don't see Sega making good consistent Sonic games over and over again. I don't see it. I'm not trying to be no Hain person. It's just facts. I mean, like I said, I grew up with Sonic, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the only reason why Sonic has really kept his image from so many bad games is because of Sonic X. That saved the franchise, especially back in the early, from the 2000s era. From 2000 to 2010, Sonic X did save Sonic from all them bad games like Sonic '06, um, Unleashed, man, Shadow the Hedgehog. I said so. I think Sonic '06. No, no, no. Sorry, my fault. Sonic X did save Sonic's image because he's such a likable character. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So like even now, you know what I'm saying, Sonic movies are coming out. People are more excited for Sonic movies more than the games. But I also feel like Sega's doing a lot of great advertisement, putting out the game right next to the movie, which is pretty cool. I can't lie, that's great advertising. But let's be real, after this game, I don't see Sega making any great games after this one for a very long time. Because I feel like the Shadow game was more like a test for them to make a better game. But like I said, it's just man, like I said, how do you go from Heroes to make Sonic '06, then you go from Generations to make Lost World? It's just that like come on, Sega. So all I'm saying is to Sega, man, y'all need to make Sonic Adventure 3, make Sonic Heroes 2, give us a brand new Sonic Rush. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't gonna lie to you, like these old school, 2D Sonic games, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sonic Mania, Sonic Superstars, they're cool. But man, that's not what we really want, man. I really want a Sonic Rush, what, 3? Sonic, you know what I'm saying? Like give us some games that was like Sonic Rush, Sonic Advance. Bring back these type of games, right? I guess we kind of have it with Sonic the Hedgehog 4. That was decent. It was still kind of good, but it was decent though. But bring back the Sonic Rush type gameplay to 2D games, man. Like bring back modern day Sonic and bring him into 2D form like they did in Sonic Rush. If they can do that, dog, man, Sega's back to form. I swear on everything. They only need, like I said, just if they make Adventure 3, nobody's gonna complain. It'll be the best game. Like I said, every character that was at that picnic in Sonic Generations have their own gameplay style, like how Shadow does in his own game, have their own story and stages, have open world, have the Chow, great music, great story, you know what I'm saying? I know some people out there can cook up a great story for Sonic, so it's not impossible. So if y'all can do that, then well, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It's physically possible, man. And like I said, I think Sonic can keep his image simply off a couple things. Like I said, the music, you know what I'm saying? It's just iconic list of music, man. The Sonic has inspired so many people, to make music, especially just like myself. Like I said, I do make like, like some beats and all that stuff. Uh just very inspirational, I'm saying. It has so many coach samples, so many raw beats or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, I'm for sure clips to these two kids dancing towards to that diamond in the sky, you know what I'm saying, from that Sonic. Oh, that's cold as hell. Can't lie on that one.
'Cause now I know that we'll never be apart.
So clearly, I just seen that clip, right? You know what I'm saying? How can you not want to say Sonic got some good ass music? You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I think Sonic in general is just like I say, he's just a cooler character, like just a way cooler character. Like me as a kid, seeing Sonic wear them type of shoes, those grind shoes, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was just cold. Like his design was way cooler to me than Mario's. You know what I'm saying? Even though Sonic is not wearing no damn clothes, he's just wearing shoes and gloves and all that stuff, right? Just a really cold character. You know what I'm saying? Just a cold ass character. Better than Mario because Mario's just a guy with a hat and some overalls, man. I mean, does Mario even got saws? Well, Sonic got saws only in his shoes, and stuff, and just the color, the blue and green eyes. Very, very cool. More shadow, man. The black and red just matches him perfectly, literally from his skin to his shoes. And this thing even got chest hair on him, so showing that he's slightly bit older. You know what I'm saying? Uh, touch on, even from Knuckles with the dreadlocks, Tails design is pretty simple. Eggman, Rouge. So seeing this as a kid just makes me like, yes, Sonic is a cool character, you know what I'm saying? So Sonic can captivate kids. It's just can the gameplay do the same, man? That's all Sega needs to do. Sega has so much things they can do with Sonic, and we all know this. It's just they need to make a great game with these great characters and do people justice, man. It's their job, it's their obligation, their duty to bring the best to their fans, man. Because like I said, I'm a little scared after this Shadow Generation. You know what I'm saying? I know all you Sega fans or Sonic fans gonna be all hype right now, and and once they make a couple bad Sonic games, yeah, you're not gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little hate from there, but just Sega, man. Sega's just something else. Like I said, I'm hoping they can make consistent back Sonic games. Like I said, I just don't see it because like what happened. But if they can make a Sonic Adventure 3, Sonic Heroes 2, Sonic Advance 3, know what I'm saying? Give us these Sonic games and make the positive aspects of your gameplays, or bring back the positive aspect of your gameplays that made your game series so popular with your iconic characters. People are going to tune in, definitely for sure. Because man, Sonic, like I said, Sonic got the movie now. So everybody is tuned into Sonic, especially when he has a game, you know what I'm saying? Especially these kids, so you can't fail them, right? I got little cousins that love Sonic, you know what I'm saying? They also love Mario too, but they love the hell out of Sonic. Sonic got more characters, you know what I'm saying? More likable characters. So that's just true though, you know what I'm saying? On some real stuff though, Um shoot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, man, look, Sonic as a card, like I said, Sonic as a character is so cold. Like I said, just me seeing him in Sonic X just made me fall in love with him. You know what I'm saying? Just maybe like being intrigued to the character. It's just kind of weird how Sonic just has good games that I can go to, but also have bad ones where I can never just approach. So it's just very weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be a downright, Sonic fan, but it's just the games aren't doing the justice. You know what I'm saying? Or there's certain games out there for 3D ones aren't doing the justice. So and the fans kind of do defense on these games, be like, "Oh, this is great Sonic." It's not really great Sonic. And I think y'all know that though too. But um, so anyway, the whole point of this video is that why is Sonic such a hit and run series? I did explain it down to a T. Um, simply because of bad games and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But simply Sonic X and his Sonic X saved Sonic's image. The music saved his image, and the fact is that the characters in Sonic are a lot more cooler, have more character and personality, and they can actually talk. That makes them more cooler. But as you can clearly see, I feel like Nintendo's taking some pages out of Sonic because now Mario also got a movie last year, and it's the first video game movie to reach 1 billion. So if Nintendo wants to add voices to their characters, they can captivate a lot of people because everybody knows Nintendo characters, right? Which is why I also say that Pit from Kid Icarus has got to be one of the most, he needs more attention from gaming, from the gaming community, especially from all them hardcore Nintendo fans, because Pit is one of the only few Nintendo characters that actually is very vocal, that I actually felt like had a whole connection to, right? Pit's entire thing of being so loyal, right? Maybe I actually want to have ideas to be a firefighter or join the military because Pitt is so heroic, you know what I'm saying? Because because you see it through his actions and you hear it through his words that Pitt is honest and heroic. Maybe as a little kid want to be a firefighter or join the military for real. Because Pitt is fighting for what's right. And all this is said by him. So I feel like for Nintendo, since they made a Mario Brothers movie, you add some voices to the characters. Man, I don't know. I think Mario might overtake Sonic and all that stuff, man. Because like I said, Sonic had the sauce for years, and it's just to me, Nintendo has never picked up on this, and now they're picking up on it. And now, guess what? They have their own amusement park. I'm surprised, there hasn't been no Sonic ride yet. You know what I'm saying? So Sonic's been out such a, for decades, and you know what I'm saying. Its whole entire career is based off speed. So if you just look at Nintendo, they have their own movie, amusement park, uh, their own museum, uh, and I feel like they want to keep going from there. And honestly, that's a smart move by Nintendo because they're adding personality and voices towards their characters. Like for example, giving Zelda a voice or giving most people Zelda a voice, besides Link, makes Zelda a lot more iconic. You know what I'm saying? So Sonic, they better, man, Sega, y'all better make some good games in these next couple years. Because if you have all these movies come out and your game's not good, it's gonna be another struggle of Sonic games or another downtime, just another Great Depression for Sonic fans in the Sonic community, man. And that's all. That's the only thing I gotta say. And to me, that's just facts right there.